Hello, Steve White, Trickboy89 for Steve Arts89. Well, I saw some news just now, but it was from a few hours ago, that William Shatner had a medical emergency. And my first thought was not concern for him, because I don't like William Shatner and I don't care what happens to him. But my thought was, what's going to happen to George Takei? Because I love George, but the last few interviews I've seen him in, he's been looking very tired. And I was thinking, my God, I feel like he's just holding on to spite Shatner. He's just here because he wants to outlive Shatner and have the last word. And if Shatner goes, George is going to go. And all I was thinking was, no, if Shatner goes, George is going to go. I don't want George to go. I love George. And I thought, well, Shatner's the one that's sick. Shouldn't you be thinking about him? I'm like, no, I don't care. I really don't care. He's an asshole. But apparently it was just his blood sugar, which I already know. So I'm saying all this knowing he's kind of okay. He basically called the paramedics himself, which makes me wonder, is he living alone? Is he like home alone because like he doesn't have any friends or anything because he's a horrible person? Like, why was he calling like the medical people? So they came because he was having problems, and they found some problems with his blood sugar, and they took him to the hospital, and he's resting fine and comfortably, and I guess he'll be okay. I mean, he's 94. You're going to have little things like this happen. But apparently he's still got a schedule of things on, and I'm guessing he's going to be fine. But I think it scared a few people because he is 94. Betty White didn't live to be 100, and she had, the grace of God and all the angels behind her, whereas, not that I believe in any of that, but she and everyone else does. But Shatner, he's just, yeah, so I'm surprised he's running on the fact he can't sit still, because if he does, he'll have to reflect on what a horrible person he is. So he just has to keep moving, and that's why he keeps going. And doesn't stop. So Shatner, health scare, he's fine. I'm just worried about George Takei, because I love him. And I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of, I don't know. I remember a few years ago someone saying, because the first Star Trek actor to die was Forrest Kelly, I think, and then James Doohan not that long after. I think James was second, and everyone was like, Shatner said it. Of course, Shatner said it because it's an asshole comment. He said, "Oh, everyone's just waiting to see who's going to die next." Like this, waiting to see, like the original cast, like that's all we're doing, sitting around waiting to see who's going to die next. But we're down to 3. Shatner, of course, who just seems to just never die. George Takei, who's looking very frail. That was the word I was looking for, frail. And of course, George on the line. Walter Koenig. I think even though, I think he was the youngest actor out of all of them. The character was the youngest, but I think he was still the youngest actor. And he's looking the best out of all of them. I mean, Shatner has got a lot of energy, but he just kind of is big and heavy, and once you get heavier, you have more health problems, like blood sugar, stuff like that. Whereas Walter seemed to be fairly consistent. He's sort of looking older, and his hair thinned out to the point where he finally gave up the wig. God bless him, he held on to that thing for a while. He did pretty well. But eventually he just was like, I got no hair, I'm going to wear a cap. I don't care, I'm old. I'm retired, it's fine. So he's looking okay. He may be the last to go. He may be the last one who has the last word on all of Star Trek, which is a bit of a worry because he's always been a bit quirky and looked at things a bit weird, and I'm like, I don't want him to be the last person to have the last word on Star Trek. I want it to be George. That sounds horrible. But yeah, I do. I want George to be the last one to have the last word. And the last thing I saw him do was be interviewed by Katie Sackhoff a few weeks ago, and he was looking a bit frail. He was pretty. He only had a couple of moments where he didn't seem confused for a second, more so by something she was asking than his own thoughts or anything. But I am worried about George. But I've been talking about that for 4 minutes, so I'm going to go, as I was saying before I went on a tangent. But it is upsetting because when I first got really serious about Star Trek, there was only about 5 years before I think Dave Kelly died in 2000. So already when I was I didn't feel like I was very far into my sort of Star Trek sort of fandom. the original cast were already passing away, and it's like, oh, I never got to meet him. I did get an autograph from him, but not from him. And then it was James Doohan, who had come to Australia not that long before, and I just missed him by like a year. And I was like, oh, I'd love to meet him again. And, he got sick and didn't come back. So then I made effort to meet all the other cast, and the only cast I didn't meet, I didn't meet Majel. I don't know if she came to Australia in that time, if I'd missed her before that, or if she went to Sydney New Zealand or something. I think that might be what happened with her. So I missed her. And then Grace was really upsetting because all the original surviving cast came to a convention here in Australia except for Grace. And then she died a few months later, so she must have been too sick to come. It would have been planned, and they would have wanted her to come as well. But she was too sick, and had she just had her health a little bit longer, I would have gotten to meet her. So that was really upsetting. But Shatner, I don't care. I didn't even want to meet him. I did it just because I was at a convention for something else, and he was an arsehole, and I'm like, I knew it. But George I met twice, 3 times. He was wonderful, and I worry about him, and I've been talking about that for 6 minutes. But yes, so I don't know how other people feel about the original cast, because we are down to just a couple, and the next generation cast is aging as well. They're still sort of out and active and everything, but one day we're going to be left with like the Discovery actors, and it's like that's going to be the end of Star Trek fandom and conventions, because who's going to go to travel them for them? No one really. No Star Trek fans anyway. So like you can see, funnily enough, when they do I've seen photos of this, and maybe they're contrived, but you see like a next generation actor with like a long line of people, and then you'll see like Wilson Cruz sitting there like with no one, and I'm like, well, I'm actually going to go. It's 7 minutes. Bye.